show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on GTV. This show is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon Spa Nail and Barbershop, HOV Medical, and Digicel. Sign up for Digicel Plus Home Light Bundles, faster internet, movies, and sports. This is The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards. I want to thank you so much for joining us for this edition. As we close out this week, we want to have a really candid conversation with somebody who we are very familiar with. The person who lives that proverb that we know, charity begins at home. But he exemplifies in saying that charity begins at home, but it does not have to remain at home only. Here with me is the man they call Gumption, Allington, Gumption, Cricky. Gumption, it's a pleasure to have you actually be on the set for us to have a conversation.
Good morning to you, Kathy, and GTV and the listening audience. And it's been a while, so it's good to be back at home. So it's good to be here today, Friday.
Yes, I thought it's best that we, sit and have a conversation on this platform because we've been having conversations.
Yes.
You said certain things to me while we were there at the back to school in Virgin Gorda in District 9.
Yes.
And so that's the continuation of this. Like I said, charity begins at home, but your motto is that it doesn't have to remain at home. Let's start with Gumption. His feeling about how I support positive youth has been going since its establishment.
Well, since its establishment in 2013, it's been going okay. Despite the support and what's not, because there's a more love for it as well. But as time goes on, years goes on, we usually work to build more trust, more transparency, and be like, usually start out something you're shaky, but as you keep doing good, you will eventually encourage people to be like, hey, this is legit, this is real, this is something that we should get a part of. And I would think, despite all of those evidence of things that we have done, too many things that you have covered that was positive, community oriented, that it would have had not a swan of supporters, but sufficient support to keep it going in a sort of encouraging way.
Okay, so let's get very candid in your train of thought here.
Yes.
We do see whenever Gumption does anything, everyone comments and applauds you and, encourages you to keep going, keep doing. We see persons, though it might be to a small extent locally, more internationally, you see people pouring their resources to help you to live that dream and to be that philanthropic
yes.
person that you are. Yet you feel a little disappointed in some ways.
Yes, I feel disappointed because, like I said, most of my top supporters are people who are strangers who become friends. Oftentimes we look for people that we know, who we recognize, but my key supporters are people from the outside. There are few in the inside, but a lot of those in the inside, they're either timid or shy, so a lot of them always wish me the best private message. They'll never come out loud to let the world know that they are supportive of mine. So after a while, it started to bother me. Like, why am I seeing you messaging me to keep up the good work and all the best, and all of that via private message, and then I will go online and see you congratulate someone, wish them all the best on a public forum.
Oh, so
so
you
it's
would
like,
not get that
it was
compliment
so
in public. In terms
necessary.
of like,
So it's so it's like You know, it's just like a weird things, you know, and something I can never figure out. But the last few years has been bittersweet in terms of support. With I support positive youth, and it's just a point where I just need to take a break, regroup myself, focus on key things. You know, my business, my family, my health. I am, I mean, 12 years later in business, you know, why am I still paying rent on an apartment? Like, why I don't have the keys to my own house by now?
While you've been doing all of this.
If I was to add up the receipts of things I've been putting out there, I own a complex. I built a complex. If I was to add the receipts of that pencil, Mr. Ham house, this light bill for that person, this one, it's all mathematics. You know, this year alone, not included the backpacks, I've singly donated of my own personal funds, $53,780. Not included 2024 backpacks of my own personal funding. But but I don't feel it's appreciative locally. I just don't feel that enthusiasm about going above and beyond, as I don't feel the community really cares. So it discouraged me. It discouraged me big time, huge time.
But in the world of charity, so we're having this conversation candidly. In the world of charity, it is often said that it does not necessarily matter what others may feel or not do.
Yes.
But once you would have impacted your targeted audience. You wanted to help kids. You continue to do that. You put yourself on the line when you started out by surfing to raise money. Persons pour into it, and you get to achieve that to help families who can do with some help, who would not have had that resource otherwise. So you accomplish that. So why does it still matter?
Because eventually you either get burnt or what's not. So as much as it is, your vehicle still need the encouragement of diesel and gas to get you to and from. You know, our body need encouragement of hot tea or nutrition food. So sometimes we need encouragement of emotional, physical support to regain that consciousness, that energy to move forward. And if you, as much as you may have the mindset, if you don't have that fuel, that extra drive, that supportive system, then it's be a very, very lonely, sad, gray road.
I see where you're coming from. But let's look at the other side of this too. There is a brilliant side that would have come out here. You would have said it. Why Gumption, when he would have given hundreds of thousands out of his pocket, still living in a rented apartment, still being in certain circumstances which we discussed privately. Why? And sometimes that is where we oftentimes make the mistake. You know, while you pour into others, we have to learn how to love on ourselves. We too have to be comfortable, and it seems as though you believe in a greater being, all right? That the Creator has put you in this position to realize, listen, you keep pouring out, but you're not building up on yourself. Your daughter needs you. Her mom needs you. You need you. And there are certain things that are necessary for you to get there. And maybe this pull of the community of not helping to fuel you personally has awakened your consciousness to listen, I gotta love on me too.
It did raise a consciousness. For me personally, simplicity I used to survive. It doesn't take me a lot for me to be content. Like I said, one of my favorite to-go meals till this day is romaine noodle. The one with the little thing you break down, you put a little thing. I don't care how much I might accomplish me leaving a romaine noodle behind. You know, so for me it's having simple things as well. Then, as we talk about on VG the other day, you know, as much as I've helped people build home, as much as I help people buy stuff post-hurricane to refurnish their house. You know, I was on an airbed. In that I couldn't afford to go out and buy me a bed, but I was happy. So people like Gumption, you didn't build a house for Andy Ham? You won't give this person a bedroom set? You won't do this to that person?
And you sleep on a airbed?
So some people couldn't figure out how the CEO of Gumption tours BVI, and they wasn't aware of that. So what I decided to do for my 40th birthday was to block the world and cater for me. I went to Island Department Store. I bought me a queen size bed, a beautiful headboard, a dressing table, and that was like my treat to me, for me. And you know, so as much as we want to help people, we can't help people if you don't get good food or good night rest.
Yes.
You know, so I started, and then my team started telling me I should look more after my health, myself, and so I started to focus on that, you know. Self-love, you know. I'm 12 years in, I only have one vessel. You know, so if my boat breaks down for some reason, I have to go hire somebody else. This is 12 years in. So I need to like focus on the brand, the business, and the next step for Gumption Experience BVI. I have a daughter who is in college in the UK, studying to be a doctor. And I get a reality calling when I was told that, you know, here you are giving all these things to the world, and your very daughter need just a small percentage of these things. It broke me down when I heard that she wanted to get a school loan, applied, and get denied. Here's her father, the CEO of Gumption Tours BVI, giving scholarships, money to all of these things, and someone who will come back and take care of me up in old age, I'm not supporting. So I had to go and regroup and rethink, like, hey, charity at home, like, I love your kids, but I have to make sure that my kid doesn't have to worry about how she's going to pay for her studies.
So I have wake-up call.
It's a wake-up call. It's a real reality wake-up call as well. So that's why I'm kind of like taking a little break for at least 5 years to kind of get myself in a better position, get them in a better position before I can continue. Sometime Bruce Wayne have to know when to be Batman and when to be Bruce Wayne. Clark Kent have to know when to be a reporter and when to be Superman. So some days he put on the flying cape and he just Clark Kent. So we have to know when is our time as we're going to burn out ourselves. And we can't afford to burn ourselves out.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about it, when we had the conversation back there at VG, you said, you know, you're willing to share your story so that others can also be awake, because there might be other people who do the same. They keep pouring into everyone else. They keep pouring into everyone else, and they are left, you know, in a neglectful case. So it turns out as if this is not really true love.
It happens. I'm not saying it's the case, but I would not doubt that one lady who made a complaint about possibly have to sleep in a car, that person too was in a person that was givey, and now they in a position where it's like, hey, I have to give up this apartment and move into a car. Do I want to get to that stage? This week, because I had make a statement because of being hurt and discouraged, that I am done with give backs, financial support, all of these things. And a lady messaged me, and she said she saw my message and she understand, but you could have feel the genuineness on that. There are people in this country, the British Virgin Islands, who are suffering. I never asked them to show me their bank statement or what they have. They have $4.26 on their account.
It's true. It's true.
I had to move. I tell them, well, since we're here now, is don't tell a wall, and don't let make a barry know.
Yeah, but I'm going to help where I can.
You know,
Yeah.
and I send something, but what discouraged me a lot of the time is the people that doesn't need it, who pretend like they need it, and when the true, genuine actually need the support, they don't get it. There's a lot of people that actually need genuine support. They need real financial aid. They need assistance. But there's some people who doesn't necessarily need it, that will show a face, come up with a story, and they'll take advantage, so it discourage from helping. A lot of people want to help people, but discourage of certain people.
Yes. And then it became so much more, especially after the hurricanes. A lot of people would not have been able to regain their let's say status. They would not have been able to come back to that comfort zone that they once enjoyed. And sometimes people would see a person looking all pretty, looking well dressed on the road, and they assume.
I'm very good at that. I like all week people tell me one of my biggest weaknesses is one, I don't ask for help. I don't know how to ask for help. And one other thing they mentioned as well, you know, and you know, today is the 7th year anniversary of Hurricane Irma and Maria.
Oh,
yes, today is the 6th. The Wednesday is the day. Today is the date.
Yes.
There are some people 7 years later still has not gained to a place where they're still hoping that that person cut that check today, because they can't afford to wait till the next pay period. And this is realistically the truth, you know what I mean? And to be in a place at the BVI where probably we have one of the highest Jahphix per square foot, it's really embarrassing.
But what I'm hoping that out of this, you know, someone's heart is touched, someone or a few people, you know, make certain choices differently, open their hearts to try to publicly and privately compliment people, you know, do something for someone if they can, you know, not be too greedy but still love yourself.
It's only where blessings come. People, a lot of entrepreneurs, especially entrepreneurs, they want to see the business grow. They want to see the bank account grow. They want to see the clientele grow. All of these different things. But they fail to invest in sowing a seed to get blessings. Like, how you expect God to give you? This is a big opportunity for you right now as an entrepreneur, but you can't get it because you hold up somebody else's blessing. Like, God ain't gonna bless you. The reason why we have business and we often tell people we overbooked is because of a karma. Usually people hear about karma and they get scared, but it's two sides of karma. If you know you've been doing good, no one is perfect, fairly good, fairly well, doing right by God, right by community, you're going to get that karma reward of doing good. If you're a person of bad, you're going to get that seed of bad. It's the seed that we sow. So I've sowed enough seeds that I'm going to have
that karma is going to be
I'm going to have a more karma of good versus
evil,
versus a bad.
Okay, so we're going to still be seeing Gumption doing a few things. If not here,
well,
internationally. You've been doing things around.
I've been doing things around. Like I said, for this year alone, I've been in like graduation, medical care, funeral extents, family hardships, back to school drive, Africa. So it's all over like a madman without no plan. For me to get something done, I have to give a full focus on a project. And for me, the African Project School Initiative, that is something that is very close to me, is dear to me, and that need a lot of attention. So I can't be all over. So 100% until that school is sufficiently up and running, I cannot be all over the place as I once were. And if I was to assist anyone with a medical, well, I always never post it out. There's certain people that I look after with hardships and medical.
Diligently.
Those are intimate stuff. So I'll never post oh, Kathy just get her thing today, and I went, no, there's certain things that I don't put out there. So people always think I put out everything, half it doesn't go out there. I very filtered what I choose to put out there for what I choose to keep done. It can mess people up mentally and emotionally.
Yes.
So I avoid those things. So the projects in Africa with the school, we've tried to get a school complete by the end of this year.
Okay.
So that school is $30,000 short. I just get a quote from the generator as we want to put a solar generator on the school. So we need to get that up and running. Like I mentioned, anything that I do will be personally intimate. JTV doesn't need to know. I help you out. This person needs to help you out, etc. Helping the schools. Shout out to Dr. Pata and Smith for helping me get the wave for the backpack drive. But at the same time, supporting schools in the BVI, it's like pulling tooth and nail. And if it's teacher right now saying, hey, our home economic having a big stuff, we need 5 crate of eggs. I have to go through a whole ministry just before I get approval if I can give teacher Richards a crate of eggs for the sessions. So the things can be a lot more easier and transparent and not so discouraging. It's very discouraging trying to do good in a community. Even with the backpack stuff the other day, it's come discouraging, with the ports and customs and these is stuff for the children. The little girl on the shirt, I didn't ask her to send me 9,000 notebooks. I'm glad she did, but I still had to foot a bill for $520 at the port as I would not get the backpacks to give out to the children of the BVI. I ain't gaining. People think I gaining for charity. I spending. I spending. I ain't gaining. I ain't making no money. I spending money.
Okay. All right. But in spite of it, you will always be Gumption.
Always be Gumption.
We see that you're pushing an initiative right now with the remaining backpacks that you have to do outreach to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's still on?
That's still on. So today, 7 years, Hurricane Irma. When we got hit by the Hurricane Irma Maria, the very next day, there was 5 boats with strangers and people that some might know was on the BVI with supplies. Few months ago, St. Vincent and Grenadines got hit by Hurricane Beryl. So I was thinking with these extra backpacks, it would be good to support certain individual in areas that were affected by the hurricane and might not have got the supplies as yet. So it was no brain buster to take the remaining backpacks over to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I reached out to my good friend, Kevin Little, who sings. He have a foundation, or his wife have a foundation, and Little Feet, and we partner together, and they're going to give out 250 pair of shoes as well. And the island is waiting for me to arrive to meet me and to do this initiative. And and we just don't want to give them supply. We also want to encourage them and give them something to think about. To think about a realistic dream to think about. What I like about me is that even though I'm a high school dropout, I'm still not stupid. So I'm in between those stuff. So I can relate to, wait, Gumption, you didn't finish school? Man, the way how you to be speaking, the way how you talk, I swear you finished school. I in a generation way in between. So I can fairly encourage and motivate everyone. So the key is to do that while strengthening our relationship as Caribbean people.
Nice.
And it's not the first time. As the year before, I took the remaining stuff to Jamaica.
Yes.
Where I took 65 pounds of supplies. And that was waived by Inter-Caribbean. And for this trip, all I wanted them to do was waive the heavy fee because it's $200 110 pounds of school supplies I'm flying with.
Okay.
And they say, you know what, Mr. Cricky, we know we've been following you, we're noticing the work, here we can do for you. Everything covered. Just show up to the airport.
Wow.
So they waived everything.
Wow. Awesome.
Everything. And I thank Caroline at Inter-Caribbean for seeing the vision and going. So like I said, if I Spy do continue, there could be another Caribbean island, another Caribbean island, another Caribbean island. But it's important that a charity like I Spy remain its existence.
Yes.
It's important to get supportive because we can't do these things without finance. We can't do this without motivation.
Okay.
You know, it takes motivation.
We admire your commitment to what you do, to be in Gumption. Because from the day that I got to know you, you have been Gumption. You've always had a heart, and we see you would express how you feel very often via social media, and you're very humble when, okay, all right. I should not have said it this way, it was in anger, and you come back. But continue to be Gumption. I'm happy to see that you would have had that awakening that you need to take care of you and family as well. And we know that you're going to only continue to grow from strength to strength. This life is not an easy road.
It's not an easy road.
You're going to reach up with the bumps.
I'm going to reach out the bumps. It just is not in the chapter. This is just that one part of the movie where it's a bit, shaky and gray, but it's not the end of the chapter. This story is still being written. God, He's the head author of it. I'm just the main character. But I know it's not done, and I know it's His work.
It's His work.
It's His work.
And you're the vessel.
I'm just the vessel, and we're just doing the best that we can. Because, we have to give it a try. We have, and I have give I Spy the fair chance of a try.
Okay. And it's going to continue. We're confident. Maybe not on the scale that you were doing, like we said. Something starts at home, but it continues for her fields.
Well, I hope to encourage other people, other Beaverlanders, to step up the game, especially the people who I was in my case with my grammar and my spelling and who feel like they do it better than me. I will give them a chance to do these things as well. Then, for the record straight, I have nothing against my minister, Honorable Whitley. I'm disappointed that we didn't have a better dialogue for the back to school event.
Okay.
We used to have one shirt, two logos. Now there's two different shirts and two different logos. Where's the unity? I'm disappointed that we didn't have a conversation. Gumption back to school is in 2 months. Let's meet such and such time to discuss what we're going to do. If we had a dialogue, a discussions, Virgin got a back to school event would have been a lot more transparent. Gumption, what is your target? Smart children in primary school. Okay, no problem. We're just going to do high school and probably a few college. Then we went out, we shop for the same thing, and all of us have backpacks remaining because we had no dialogue. I only disappointed with him and his team because they never reached out to me. I'm not upset with him as the minister of the district. I'm disappointed with you as a coordinator for the back to school drive. So, and then the whole initiative of this back to school drive, which is good to see other people has now picked on, that can't be the result. We just can't focus on just books and notebooks. That money that all of we spent, that could have had more impact if we had fund after school initiatives. Hey, I'm going to pay Cathy Bus X amount of money to collect these people from Easton to take them to this after school facility and bring them back. That's your contract for 5 to 6 months. I'm going to pay this music class. I'm going to pay this soccer class, this initiative, this literacy person. Program, So we give them a backpack, we give them supplies, now what? If they really want to have an impact on the children of the British Virgin Islands, instead of having all these numerous back-to-packers, it's thousands of dollars that we put out. It's thousands of dollars together. I'm pretty sure we spent over close to $100K, all of us together, from everyone that did a backpack drive. If we had put that money into like hiring someone to work with students on every single island, US Van Dyke, and got a tutor told her, hey, I need you guys to go to this place. A teacher will be there to help you with your spelling. Whatever it is you're lacking, they would have had a more greater impact than just stuff. And if the family support network, I'm not too sure if they actually had a real dialogue, but people, the previous time is between pride and girl, you know who come in here looking for support. We need to have more private confidentiality. There are people that want help, but to go to these entities get help. They say, look, you see people in WhatsApp group trending, girl, Gumption just come in here looking for a loan. You know, these kind of ways, so discourage people for want to go to Social Security, NHI, and Family Support Network looking for aid because they're scared somebody might become and be like, yeah, that person out every weekend, and you know, so we need to get to that point. If they had a stay, we can actually find the actual needed. Actual needed. You'd have been less backpacks. In that extra money remaining, could have go into initiatives between September and when school closed for December, in January to school closed in July. And have a more bigger impact than just backpacks.
Well, you would have said it and you could never know. Probably next year we see things done differently, and Gumption may be very well right there behind to help coordinate all of that. The clock is on us right now. We would have shared a lot. We would have learned from each other a lot, and I know our audience, you too, would have learned so much from this candid interaction here on The Big Story. Gumption, I give you that 30 seconds to just say what it is that you want to say to the people of these Virgin Islands and those further afield.
I would just like to say that, you know, we are the future, we are the present now, and it takes unity, strength. It takes all of us. And it doesn't have to take a huge public figure or a celebrity per se. Sometimes the smallest ripples create the biggest impact. So you don't need to have the top last name or what's not, but simple things goes a long way. And to the people that came out and helped support me on the Tatola Drive, I want to say thank you so much. The people from Puerto Rico that came over and assist me, I want to say thank you so much. And the people who will come on board after this interview, thank you in advance. JTV, Kathy, you cover me from time you did Young Professional many years ago until this day. You would have seen all the downs, the ripples, the colorful moments, the great moments. And I appreciate your humbleness, I appreciate your friendship, your understanding, and being fair in journalism. So, thank you.
Thank you. Gumption, thank you for sitting here. It takes heart to open up like this. And I want to thank you so much for joining us for this edition of The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Are you searching for new home decor items that reflect the season's latest trends? Look no further than Right Way Home. From cushion sets to decorative vases, we have unique pieces to suit every style and budget. Discover your right find at the right price, only at Right Way Home and Right Way Stores.